Hi, it's Mike at bookup.com, and it's December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, and I just came up with some changes in the professional version of Chess Openings Wizard. Now, people are always asking what really separates this kind of system from a game database, something like ChessBase. And one of the things is overnight analysis of your opening repertoire. Because a game database can, of course, go in and analyze games, but what we're interested in is analyzing your entire opening. Let's create a new ebook, like I do in some videos. We'll call it My French. And I'll put in just a few opening moves that will stand for my opening repertoire. Get this guy stretched out here a little bit. So after e4, e6, d4, d5, they play here, and I will play into the win hour. And when they advance, I advance. And when they play here, I'll trade off, and I play the queen c7 lines. And maybe I'm interested in what happens if the queen comes out here. I plan on playing f5. And maybe I'm playing white. Let's pretend, for instance, I'm just playing white. I'm changing my mind here. So I'm deciding, I don't know, what happens if I play the bishop out to here? Is that a good move? Because it looks like, if anything comes between that bishop and the black king, I can just grab that pawn and then eat the rook. That sounds great. So if the bishop gets in there, great, I take. The queen can't come in there. I'll just take the queen. Knight comes in there. Maybe I could trade off. At least it looks safe. I'll have to know why this is a good move or why this isn't a good move. So I've got this done. Maybe I'll back up and decide to play something else too. Maybe what if I played queen g3 instead? So now I've got this miniature repertoire. What I do is I go to the EPD menu and select Export Positions. Again, this is overnight analysis of your repertoire. It's done with EPD files. You don't have to know what an EPD file is. You just need to know how to use them. So what I'll do is export some positions to this file. It automatically sets one up as position.epd, and that's fine. I could start exporting from any position inside of my repertoire, or I could start just from the starting position, which is where I'll start now. And I can select to add or erase the positions, because if anything's in the way and I want a fresh batch, I will select erase. And down here I can say which moves I want analyzed. And maybe I don't want the first couple of moves analyzed. Maybe not even the first 3 moves or so. So export positions only beyond move 3. So the first 3 moves will be ignored. And I know what those are and don't need computer analysis for those. I click OK. And it'll export, and it finds 17 positions, it says. That's all well and good. So now I come back here and say EPD, Analyze with Engine. And this is what we normally call overnight analysis, because instead of 17 positions, you probably have hundreds, maybe even thousands of positions in your opening that you'd like analyzed by a computer. If I click on it now, it's going to tell me I have to start a chess engine first. And that's all well and good. So let's start a chess engine. I'll click down here. And when the engine starts running, then I can go back to the EPD menu, select Analyze with Engine. It sees the engine's running. It checks to make sure I know the actual file I'll be working with. It defaults to the one I was just putting positions in, position.epd. Now it asks me, in millions of nodes, do I want to get to at least 10 million nodes, at least 30 seconds of analysis with this engine, or a certain depth of ply? And normally you control it in millions of nodes. Let's adjust this to 5. I'll be happy if it gets to the minimum, at least minimum 5 million nodes, or if it spends at least 30 seconds on the position, or maybe gets to depth, I don't know, depth 12 ply deep, something like that. And it probably will reach 12 ply a lot faster than it will 5 million nodes, as we'll see in a second. I just want to do this for a demonstration. And I can put the analysis tag here as a 1.8 shallow analysis, we'll call it, because it is shallow. It's only doing minimum depth here of 12 ply deep. So I click OK, and it starts its analysis. And we can see it's moving through up to about, well, 200,000 positions, but then it gives up. It didn't really get to 5 million. It gives up probably because it's reaching depth 12. It's getting depth 9, 10, 12. And as soon as it gets to that particular depth, it goes on to the next position. So we're all done. If this were done overnight and deeply, so more than just a couple seconds per position, you'd have deeper analysis. But again, just for a demo, this is what we have. We have the tagged analysis down here in our comments for each position, and with the principal variation right here. Let's go back and check out what it thought about bishop e5 check. It thinks that it's good for black. So almost a half pawn good for black, even with its shallow analysis. It thinks, yeah, certainly don't throw a piece in between. Just play king f7, which leaves the bishop just one step away from being trapped after c4, and you'll be able to trap it with pawns pretty quickly. And the queen's also being hit. So king f7 is actually giving black a slight advantage, even though his king is being jarred away from castling. And so that's what you get from overnight analysis in the professional version of Chess Openings Wizard. This works exactly the same way in the Macintosh version. I'm using the Windows version right now, but the Macintosh version works exactly the same way with the chess engine.